Imagine an animal is placed in front of a mirror for the very first time. At first, it freezes. Its eyes lock onto the creature staring back. It moves its head. The reflection moves too. It steps closer. The other animal steps closer. For a moment, it looks like a simple scene. Just an animal meeting a mirror. But what if this is not simple at all? What if behind those eyes, something strange is happening? What if the animal is asking a question without words? Is that another creature? Or is that me? At first, it looks simple. But the deeper question is not whether animals can see themselves. The deeper question is whether animals know they exist. To understand this, we need to go deeper. Self-awareness is one of the most mysterious forms of animal intelligence. It does not mean an animal sits around thinking, "Who am I?" like a philosopher. It does not mean it has human language, human memories, or human imagination. Self-awareness can be much simpler. It can mean knowing, "This body is mine." It can mean understanding, "I am the one causing this movement." It can mean recognizing, "That sound, that smell, that reflection, that action belongs to me." And that small idea changes everything. Because an animal that understands itself, even in a basic way, may also understand its body, its limits, its place in a group. And maybe even how others see it. One of the most famous ways scientists have tested this is called the mirror test. The idea is simple. An animal is given a mirror. Then researchers place a small mark on a part of its body it cannot normally see, like the face or head. If the animal looks in the mirror and then touches the mark on its own body, it may suggest that it understands the reflection is not another animal. It may suggest the animal knows, "That is me." Chimpanzees are one of the classic examples. When some chimpanzees spend time with mirrors, they may stop treating the reflection like a stranger. Instead of attacking it or displaying at it, they begin using the mirror like a tool. They inspect their teeth. They look at parts of their body they cannot normally see. They make faces. They explore themselves. This matters because the mirror becomes more than a shiny object. It becomes information. The chimpanzee is not just seeing movement. It may be connecting that movement to its own body. And that is a powerful sign of intelligence. But chimpanzees are not the only animals that have surprised scientists. Dolphins have also shown fascinating behavior with mirrors. A dolphin cannot reach up with a hand and touch its face like a human can. Its body is built differently. Its world is water, sound, motion, and social signals. But when dolphins were marked, some researchers observed them positioning their bodies near mirrors, turning and adjusting themselves as if they were trying to inspect the marked area. Think about that for a second. A dolphin sees a reflection. Then it changes the angle of its body to look at a specific spot. That is not just curiosity. It may suggest the dolphin understands a connection between the reflection and its own body. And this is where it gets even more surprising. Elephants have also been tested with mirrors. Now an elephant is not a chimpanzee. It does not have fingers. It does not live in trees. It does not explore the world the same way a primate does. An elephant has a trunk, huge ears, a massive body, and a deeply social life. So when an elephant uses a mirror, it may interact with it in its own elephant way. One famous Asian elephant, named Happy, showed behavior that researchers interpreted as mirror self-recognition. When marked on the head, she used her trunk to touch the mark, not the mirror, her own head. That small movement matters. Because the trunk moved toward the body, not toward the reflection. It was as if the mirror gave her information about herself. But here is the strange part. The mirror test may not be fair to every animal. Imagine testing whether a bat knows itself by asking it to care about a visual reflection. A bat lives in a world of echoes. Imagine testing a dog with a mirror when a dog's world is built around smell. A dog may not care much about a reflection, but it may recognize its own scent. So if a dog fails the mirror test, does that mean it has no sense of self? Or does it mean we asked the wrong question? This is why animal intelligence is so tricky. Humans often design tests based on human senses. We love vision, we love faces, we love mirrors. But animals do not all experience the world through human priorities. A dolphin hears a world of clicks and echoes. A dog smells a world of invisible stories. An elephant feels vibrations through the ground. A bird sees motion and detail in ways we may barely understand. So the real question is not simply, can this animal pass our test? The real question is, what kind of self would matter in that animal's world? And that is where birds enter the story. Magpies, members of the corvid family, have shown behavior that suggests mirror self-recognition in some studies. This surprised many people because birds do not have brains built like mammal brains. They do not have the same structure humans have. But they can solve problems, remember, plan, hide food, watch others, and sometimes act with astonishing flexibility. A magpie in front of a mirror is not just a cute bird looking at itself. It may be a clue that intelligence can evolve in different brain designs, not one path, many paths. But that is only the beginning. Even cleaner fish have entered the debate. A tiny fish recognizing itself sounds almost impossible at first. But some studies suggest cleaner fish may behave in ways that look like mirror self-recognition, especially when the mark resembles something meaningful in their world, like a parasite, and that detail is important. Because a cleaner fish survives by noticing tiny marks, spots, and parasites on other fish. Its intelligence is shaped by its job. Its world rewards attention to bodies. So if it responds to a mark in a mirror, maybe the mirror test is not just about having a big brain. Maybe it is also about whether the test matches the animal's life. This is the part humans often miss. Animals do not need to be intelligent in the same way we are. They do not need to write books. They do not need to build cities. They do not need to say, I think, therefore I am. A dolphin may know itself through movement and sound. An elephant may know itself through touch, memory, and social bonds. A magpie may know itself through vision and action. A dog may know itself through scent. A fish may know itself through body patterns that matter for survival. It may not think like you. But it may be thinking in a way that is perfect for its world. To understand why, we need to go deeper. Self-awareness may have evolved because survival often depends on knowing where your body ends and the world begins. If you are climbing, you need to know your reach. If you are hunting, you need to know your movement. If you are hiding, you need to know whether you can be seen. If you live in a group, you need to understand your role, who is stronger, who is watching, who remembers what you did, who trusts you, who might challenge you. In social animals, the self may become even more important. Because once you live around others, you are not just surviving the environment. You are surviving relationships. You may need to recognize your own actions. You may need to learn from mistakes. You may need to remember who helped you and who did not. You may need to understand that other individuals have goals too. And maybe, somewhere inside that complicated social world, a basic sense of me begins to form. The real question is not whether animals are smart. The real question is how many forms of intelligence we have failed to notice. Because self-awareness may not be a light switch. It may not be either on or off. It may be more like a sunrise, a little body awareness here, a little memory there. A little social understanding. A little recognition of action, a little sense of control. And across millions of years, different animals may have developed different pieces of the self. Which brings us back to the mirror. That animal standing in front of its reflection may not be thinking like a human. It may not be wondering about its name, its past, or its future. But maybe it understands something smaller. And maybe that smaller thing is still amazing. This body is mine, that movement belongs to me, I am here. The next time you see an animal looking into a mirror, smelling a place it has visited before, checking its body, reacting to its own voice, or moving through the world with quiet confidence. Do not ask only, is it as self-aware as a human? Ask a better question. What kind of self does this animal need to survive? Because in the animal kingdom, intelligence does not always look like ours. Sometimes it has a trunk, sometimes it has wings. Sometimes it swims through the ocean. Sometimes it hides behind feathers, fur, scales, or silence. And sometimes, for just a moment, it looks into a mirror, and the mystery looks back. Subscribe to Tony S. Animal IQ to discover how animals think, feel, learn, and survive in ways that may surprise you.